Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. Today we are breaking down the Supergirl. You think you know Supergirl, the hopeful cousin of Superman, the one who always flies in second, the little sister in the shadow of the Man of Steel. But what if I told you that's about to change? So if you're a Supergirl nerd like me, smash that like button, subscribe, and let's dive deep into everything from the teaser drop to theories to those delicious DCU hints. Let's talk cinema, baby. In James Gunn's new DCU, Supergirl isn't just another supporting character. She may be the character, the secret weapon in a darker, riskier, and more emotionally driven reboot of the DC universe. This is not your CW Supergirl. This is Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, and she's angry. When James Gunn revealed his new DCU slate, one title stood out immediately: Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, slated to be one of the cornerstones of DCU. Chapter 1, Gods and Monsters. It raised a lot of eyebrows. But let's be clear, this is no random inclusion. In fact, her story may hold the emotional core of the entire rebooted universe. Gunn himself said, "We see the difference between Superman, who was sent to Earth and raised by loving parents, and Supergirl, who was stuck on a chunk of Krypton, watched everyone around her die in terrible ways for the first 14 years of her life." That one quote reveals everything. This isn't a hopeful, smiling Kara Zor-El. This is a survivor, a trauma-hardened warrior, and she's bringing a very different kind of justice to the DCU. The film is based on the 2021 comic run Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow by Tom King, and let me tell you, it's one of the most beautiful and brutal DC stories in years. In this tale, Supergirl travels across alien planets on a cosmic revenge mission alongside a young girl whose father was murdered. Think, True Grit in space, with Kara playing the cine. Kal, world-weary gunslinger role. This isn't about capes and heroism, it's about justice, pain, survival, and finding meaning in a galaxy that's lost all sense of it. Kara didn't just lose Krypton, she watched it die. She remembers the screams, the fire, the silence after. She wasn't raised on a peaceful farm like Clark Kent. She didn't have Martha and Jonathan Kent to guide her. She had dust, death, and years of isolation. So when she finally arrives on Earth, she doesn't see a planet worth saving. She sees another fragile world just waiting to implode. And that bitterness, that rage, that's what makes her so compelling. In the new DCU, trauma is not just background noise, it's core to character. Where Superman represents hope, Supergirl represents resilience. Her pain will inform her choices, her identity, and her relationships. She is not Superman. She is something else, something more brutal, more real, and that's why she's necessary. And that right there is the key. Eventually, Kara will meet Clark, and this won't be a happy family reunion. Imagine it. Superman's still young in his journey, full of hope and idealism, and then Kara arrives colder, sharper, scarred by experiences he never had. This contrast could be explosive: philosophical clashes, emotional reckonings, maybe even a confrontation over what it really means to be Kryptonian. This could be the DCU's emotional equivalent of Civil War, brother versus sister, ideals versus reality. Supergirl's story might start off isolated, but don't expect it to stay that way. Her impact could spread across the entire DCU Phase 1 slate. From the Authority to Swamp Thing, there's a growing trend: complex, morally gray heroes. And Supergirl fits that mold perfectly. She may not want to lead, but she may have no choice. Here's where it gets really interesting. Rumors are swirling that DC is building toward a crisis event, a multiverse-level crossover to clean up canon and merge timelines. In the original Crisis comic, Supergirl died saving the multiverse. But what if this time she survives, or leads the fight, or sacrifices everything again only to come back even stronger? Kara could become the emotional heartbeat of the entire Crisis saga, the character whose pain gives the event its stakes. So what's the bottom line? This Supergirl, she's not just a sidekick, not just a cousin. She is the mirror to Superman's hope, the fire to his light, and in doing so, she becomes the anchor of the DCU's most emotional, most personal story. If James Gunn plays this right, Supergirl will be the most powerful symbol in DC's next era, not because she punches hardest, but because she's lived through the worst and still fights. If you're excited or even worried about where the DCU is headed, Supergirl is the one to watch. Let me know in the comments, do you think Kara Zor-El could outshine Superman in this new universe, or is DC taking too big a risk? Like, subscribe and ring that bell because this is just the beginning of our DCU journey.